Hi, Phil Schoenberg, Fastpitch Power. Coach Jill, not too long ago, did a post on some very useful tools in transitioning the young pitcher to forearm fire from whatever other method of delivering the ball to home plate they have been taught. For example, hello elbow or some other method of stopping and snapping and then continuing. And we're going to expand on that a little bit today by talking about feedback. Feedback is a very useful tool to any athlete in performing any athletic movement. Now, I'm standing here with a Zing bat. You can look online and these are available. These are excellent training tools for developing the correct dynamics for moving the bat head through the hitting zone with your hands in the correct position and getting instant feedback on whether or not you have performed the movement optimally. Optimally meaning to the extent that you are getting the most power as you drive that bat head forward through the hitting zone. So I will show you how the Zing bat works. I'm standing here, I'm set up as though I'm waiting for a pitch to come. Now, we don't want to swing a bat in order to power a ball out into the outfield gaps or over the center field fence by swinging like a gate. Now, as you can see, when I did that, the Zing bat clicked back here, except the ball is here. So by the time I hear that noise, my power point is gone. That's where my maximum position of power is when that hits the front of the bat and makes that clicking sound. Now, if the ball is here and my power point is back there, it means that by the time I get to the ball, I'm just pushing the ball. As opposed to the correct way to swing, pulling the knob of the bat forward, keeping your hands inside the ball with really good bat lag. We've talked about this, and we're going to relate it to pitching in just a second. Bat lag, extension, acceleration. So here you can see that the click took place right at the point where the ball is going to be, was, is. If I'm doing tee work, got a ball and a tee, and I want to make sure that the sound of the bat hitting the ball and the click take place at the same time. If I'm doing soft toss, same thing. Coach tosses the ball to me, keep my hands inside the ball, click, accelerate. So if I do it in continuous fluid movement, ball's going to be right there. That's where I want to make contact. I want to accelerate through the ball. And the bat will give you instant feedback as to whether or not you maximize your power getting to that ball. So how does that relate to windmill pitching? I have a similar tool in my hand. It's called the Ernie Parker wrist snapper. Very inexpensive tool that gives you instant feedback. We're going to start with overhand throwing. So what this is going to do is it's going to demonstrate and give you instant feedback as to whether or not you are creating the click at the correct point in the delivery of your ball. So if I'm throwing a ball overhand, I don't want my click over here. I also do not want, I can make the ball, I can make this tool click here, but I'm also not going to throw the ball like this. I want to throw the ball from the outfield, and I want to have, just like I did with that Zing bat, my elbow is going to lead, my forearm is going to lag, click, accelerate. So if I'm doing it with continuous movement, my click is going to be right about here where I'm going to release the ball and I'm going to power that ball to the first baseman from shortstop, to the third baseman from center field, the runner's tagging on a fly ball that I just caught to go from second base to third base, I am going to throw the ball with acceleration and extension and with wrist snap. Right there, wrist snap, right here. It's not a point in space. It is a zone. If you slow that down, you're going to see that my wrist is actually snapping in a range, not at a point. And that's where, when we talk about forearm fire, as opposed to hello elbow or any other delivery system for powering a softball into the strike zone, that's the critical component. Continuous acceleration through the throw zone without the throw zone breaking down, with forearm fire, elbow extension, and wrist snap in a zone, but taking place at exactly the correct time. Now, we do wall work. I won't go back there and show you, but you've seen it. The wonders of wall work. Go online, go to the site, check out that post, The Wonders of Wall Work, where the pitcher is doing her drills when she's about 2-3 inches away from a wall and making sure that she's maintaining the integrity of the throw zone. You get instant feedback with wall work if you break your throw zone down, because either your ball or your hand are going to hit the wall on the way to the catcher. The objective is to be able to power that ball through the catcher's glove, which is about 3 inches away from the wall, about 30 feet away from you. So this does the same thing as far as wrist snap and forearm fire is concerned. So here I am. I've come around the backside of the circle, and I'm in forearm fire position. Elbow down, palm up, forearm land. Now, if I do what many of our young developing transitioning pitchers do, and I want to take my hand and I think that this is how I'm supposed to finish, and I push from my elbow, I moved my hand pretty fast, but you heard nothing. Let me show that again. So instead of keeping my palm up and my elbow down, I put my palm down and I put my hand in the position that I think I should finish in. I'm not getting any feedback. However, if I allow my elbow to drop with forearm land and I extend my elbow and snap my wrist in a zone right here, I am going to get that feedback every single time. That lower arm whip is what creates your power, speed, and command, provided that you're not breaking your throw zone down. So I don't want to be doing this, because then my throw zone is moving and my hands moving off of the power line, which is over off of the throw zone, which is over the power. So once again, my elbow leads, my palm is up. As soon as my palm gets down, I'm pushing from my shoulder. Now, I could finish in what looks like endgame finish position or forearm fire finish position, but if I have pushed from my shoulder, I'm getting little or no snap, as opposed to a really, really aggressive, loud crack when you do this correctly. Now, what's happening is my elbow is down, my palm is up, and as soon as I get to the back of the throw zone, which is right here, my elbow is extending, my wrist is snapping, not at a point. I'm not stopping, because we see some of our young developing pitchers who are transitioning to forearm fire do this, and then stick their hand out. Now, the whole movement is fluid and continuous. Continuous acceleration to the end of the throw zone without stopping, without thinking about having to snap my wrist at a point in time. My wrist is relaxed. When I extend my elbow aggressively at the end of the throw zone and I relax as I fire to the end of the throw zone, then my wrist snapper is going to give me the feedback as to whether or not I did that in the correct fashion, with the correct sequence, and the correct time. So when you're using these tools, when you get this, it'll say that's for strengthening your wrist. We don't use it so much for wrist strengthening or forearm strengthening. We use it for feedback. And feedback is a critical component of your development as a windmill pitcher. The more feedback instantly you receive on how you are performing a movement, any athletic movement, the easier it's going to be for you to develop the dynamics of that movement to the best of your ability. I hope that this has been useful. Love to hear your comments. Talk to you next time.